Your future is not something that just happens to you. Your future is something you create. One decision, one action, one habit at a time. The good news, you are the architect. The bad news, you are the architect. Each day, whether you know it or not, you're laying bricks for a future that either lifts you up or weighs you down. Every small decision matters. What you eat today affects your health tomorrow. What you read today shapes your thinking tomorrow. The conversations you have, the thoughts you entertain, the effort you put in, all of these are investments in your future. The law of cause and effect is one of the most powerful principles you can learn if you're serious about shaping your future. It simply says that every action has a consequence. It may not be immediate, but it is inevitable. If you plant the seed, you'll eventually see the plant. If you water it, nurture it, give it light, it will grow. If you neglect it, step on it, or ignore it, it dies. The same principle applies to your life, your business, your health, your relationships, your finances, everything. Nothing happens by chance. Everything that will be in your life tomorrow is rooted in what you are doing today. Too often people look around and blame their circumstances, their environment, or even their luck. But the truth is, luck follows effort. Environment responds to action. Circumstances can be changed with consistent discipline. This is not philosophy, it's cause and effect. If you show up early, stay focused, and invest your time wisely, over time you will see progress. If you slack off, get distracted, or waste time, the result will reflect that too. The world does not pay for intentions, it pays for results. And results are the product of causes, your decisions, your habits, your work ethic, your mindset. Let's break it down even more. Suppose someone wants to be in great physical shape. The effect they want is fitness, strength, energy. But the cause of that effect is what they do daily, how they eat, how they move, how they rest. If they eat poorly, skip workouts, and stay up late every night, they will not get the result they desire no matter how much they want it. On the other hand, if they stick to the plan, work out even when they don't feel like it, and stay consistent, the effect is almost guaranteed. It may not happen overnight, but it will happen over time. And here's the most important part. This law is always working, whether you're aware of it or not. You don't get to pause it. You're either planting seeds of progress or seeds of regret. There's no neutral. Every choice, every behavior, every thought is a cause, and your future is the collection of those effects. This is why it's so important to become intentional. If you want to predict where your life is heading, look at your current actions. What are you doing today? Because today is the cause. And if you don't like the effects you're getting, whether it's financial stress, poor health, broken relationships, or lack of purpose, then you have to change the cause. Nothing changes until you change what you do. Many people wait for motivation, they wait for the right moment. But the cause of success is not motivation, it's discipline. It's doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That's the cause. And when you master the habit of consistent effort, even in small amounts, the effect is massive transformation over time. Think of a small stream. It doesn't seem powerful, yet over time it can cut through rock. Why? Because of consistent flow. That's the secret. Your daily actions, small as they may seem, have the power to shape your life if they're applied with intention and consistency. Don't underestimate the power of today. What you eat today, what you read today, who you talk to today, what you avoid today, what you commit to today, all of these are causes, and your future 6 months, a year, 5 years from now will be shaped by them. This is an opinion, it's a universal law. You don't need more time, more resources, or even more talent. You need better causes. Start with today. Choose a better action, a better thought, a better response. The effect may not be visible immediately, but it is in motion. Keep sowing good seeds. Keep showing up. And soon the law of cause and effect will reward you in ways that seem almost magical. But it's not magic. It's just the natural result of a well-lived day, repeated enough times to become a well-lived life. Success does not come from one massive action or a single breakthrough moment. It comes from small disciplines practiced every day. These disciplines may seem insignificant on their own. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading 10 pages of a good book, saving a little money instead of spending it, saying no to a distraction. These things, done once, don't change your life, but done daily, over weeks, months, and years, they create momentum. That momentum becomes a lifestyle. and that lifestyle creates your future. Many people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year with consistent effort. The truth is, the small things matter. The small decisions you make in the quiet moments when no one is watching are the ones that ultimately shape who you become. The discipline to say no to junk food, to push through a difficult workout, to study when you're tired, to finish what you start. These are the unseen choices that lead to visible success. Think about brushing your teeth. It's a small habit, takes just a few minutes, and you do it every day. You don't expect your teeth to sparkle after one brushing, but skip it for a week or two and you'll see the effects. Now apply that same logic to your goals. Reading for 10 minutes today won't make you a genius. Investing $5 or 0 cents today won't make you wealthy. But do it every day for a year and the results will amaze you. Small disciplines are like compound interest. They grow over time, silently, consistently, and powerfully. The challenge is that these small disciplines are easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. That's where most people slip. It's easy to skip the workout. Easy to scroll on your phone instead of reading. Easy to say, I'll start tomorrow. But remember, every time you choose comfort over discipline, you're reinforcing the wrong habit. And habits, once formed, don't ask for your permission. They run on autopilot. That's why self-discipline is so critical. It's not about forcing yourself to do hard things all the time. It's about developing systems, routines, and behaviors that make success easier to achieve and harder to avoid. If you can install the right disciplines into your day, you won't need to rely on motivation. You won't need to negotiate with yourself every morning. You'll simply follow the structure you've set up. Imagine someone who wants to become a better speaker. They could enroll in a course or attend a seminar, and that's helpful. But if they speak for 5 minutes a day in front of a mirror, record themselves, get feedback, and improve just 1% each day, in a year they'll be nearly unrecognizable. That's the power of small disciplines repeated daily. They add up to something extraordinary. Consistency is what transforms average into excellence. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. You just need to be consistent. Success doesn't reward those who start fast. It rewards those who keep going. Those who show up even when it's boring, even when no one's clapping, even when results are slow. Because the person you become through discipline is far more important than the goal you achieve. Small disciplines also build confidence. Every time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you prove that you're reliable. You begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. The opposite is also true. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you chip away at your self-belief. So start with small wins. Wake up on time. Drink water. Read a little. Move your body. Be present. These actions may seem minor, but they build the foundation of your future. In the end, your life is a reflection of your daily habits. You don't get what you want, you get what you consistently do. So, if you want a better future, don't wait for a big break. Don't chase shortcuts. Instead, fall in love with small disciplines. Practice them with intention, repeat them with commitment, and your future will thank you for it. The secret is simple. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. Time is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or what your background is. Every single person on this planet has 24 hours in a day. No one gets more, no one gets less. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is not the amount of time they have, but how they choose to use it. How you invest your hours today will determine the kind of life you live tomorrow. Time is both a gift and a responsibility. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose possessions and replace them. But time, once spent, is gone forever. The challenge is that time often slips through our fingers unnoticed. People waste hours each day on distractions that bring no real value. Endless scrolling, meaningless conversations, procrastination disguised as planning. These activities may feel harmless, but over time they become the thief of dreams. A minute here, an hour there, a few lazy afternoons, and suddenly years have passed and little has changed. The tragedy is not that people run out of time, but that they never learned how to use it wisely. The most successful people are not the busiest, they're the most intentional. They understand the value of each hour. They prioritize, they plan, and they protect their time from things that do not serve their goals. They treat time like currency, spending it where the return is the greatest, on learning, on building, on growing. They wake up with purpose. They know what matters and what doesn't. They don't just go through the day, they get something from the day. And that's the key. You have to begin treating your time like a non-renewable resource, because it is every morning you're handed a fresh deposit of 86,400 seconds. The question is, how much of it do you waste, and how much do you invest? Do you trade your time for growth or for comfort? Are your hours spent on things that will bring value to your future, or are they being consumed by things that simply entertain you for the moment? One of the most powerful realizations you can have is that your current reality is the result of how you've used your time up until now, and your future will be shaped by how you use your time going forward. If you want to change your life, start by changing how you use your time. Cut out what doesn't matter. Say no to the things that distract you from your mission. Build routines that protect your focus. Schedule your priorities instead of prioritizing your schedule. Too often people claim they don't have time to chase their dreams, to get healthy, to learn a new skill. But in most cases, it's not a lack of time, it's a lack of direction. It's not about squeezing more into your day, it's about removing what doesn't belong. When you eliminate the unnecessary, you make space for the essential. Imagine if, for just 1 hour a day, you committed yourself to personal growth, reading, exercising, creating, learning, in one year. That's 365 hours invested in becoming a better version of yourself. That's over 9 full work weeks of focused self-improvement without changing your life dramatically, just by redirecting a small portion of your time. The results of that kind of consistency are nothing short of life-changing. Time also requires urgency. Not panic, but urgency. You can't keep putting things off, telling yourself you'll start tomorrow or next week, because those promises, when repeated often enough, become habits of delay. And delay is the enemy of destiny. The moment to act is now. The moment to learn, to begin, to improve is today. Time will not wait for you to be ready. Understand this, time is not just passing, it's shaping. It's either working for you or against you, depending on how you use it. Every day is a block of opportunity. Stack enough of them the right way, and you build a future worth living. Misuse them, and you build regret. So ask yourself, what am I doing with my time? What am I trading these irreplaceable hours for? Because once the day is gone, it's gone forever. Let your answers shape your actions, and your actions will shape your future. Use your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Every single day you are faced with choices. Some are small, like what to eat for breakfast, while others are larger. How to spend your time, what goals to pursue, what thoughts to entertain, what kind of person you want to become. The truth is, your life at this very moment is the sum total of the choices you have made up until now. It's easy to blame others or circumstances for where you are, but the reality is much simpler. Where you are is the result of what you chose, and where you'll go from here depends on what you choose today. Your future is not written by fate. It is built by responsibility and deliberate decision-making. Every choice carries with it a consequence. Choose to wake up early and study, and you move closer to knowledge and success. Choose to sleep in and ignore your responsibilities, and you invite mediocrity and missed opportunities. It's not that one day will make or break your life, but when those choices become patterns, they begin to define you. What seems small and insignificant in the moment becomes powerful and permanent over time. You don't become disciplined overnight. It happens because you chose discipline day after day, even when it was uncomfortable. The same goes for success, health, happiness, and relationships. They're not accidents. They're consequences of consistent choices. It's tempting to believe that circumstances control your life. But while you may not control everything that happens to you, you absolutely control how you respond. That response is a choice. You can choose to learn from failure or to be crushed by it. You can choose to take ownership of your future or to wait and hope someone else makes it better for you. But here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. You are responsible. You are in charge, and you have everything you need to make better choices starting now. Responsibility is empowering. It doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong. It means accepting that your life is yours to shape. When you embrace that idea, you stop waiting for luck, for the right timing, for someone else's permission. You begin to live intentionally. You start aligning your actions with your values and your vision, and that's when transformation begins. Now let's be honest, taking responsibility is not always easy. It requires courage. It demands honesty. You must admit when you've fallen short, when you've avoided hard things, when you've let comfort steal your potential. But the moment you do, you gain clarity and power. You begin to see that success is not about being perfect. It's about being accountable. You don't have to get everything, right? You just have to be willing to own your actions and learn from your missteps. One of the most powerful choices you can make is to stop waiting for motivation and to start acting on commitment. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fickle. Commitment is a decision, and decisions shape destiny. You don't need to feel ready, you need to decide that you're ready. When you do, everything changes. You begin moving with purpose. You begin building momentum. You begin rewriting your story, not based on what's easy, but on what's right. And don't forget, the quality of your future will not be determined by what you hope for. It will be determined by what you're willing to work for. Hope is not a strategy. Desire is not a plan. Only action leads to change. And every action is born from a choice. You choose what to focus on. You choose who to listen to. You choose how to speak to yourself. You choose whether to step forward or stand still. These choices, repeated consistently, define your results. So the question is not, will I have a good future? The question is, what am I choosing today that will create it? You have the power. You have the control. No matter what your past looks like, your future remains unwritten, and the pen is in your hands. Choose wisely. Choose deliberately. Because your choices, more than anything else, are the architects of your destiny. Many people spend their lives waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect plan, waiting until they feel more confident, more educated, more supported. They wait for permission, for circumstances to change, for stars to align. But the reality is this: waiting is the silent killer of potential. If you wait for everything to be perfect before you act, you'll wait forever. The future you want will never arrive on the back of hesitation. It will only come through action. Imperfect, uncertain, courageous action taken today. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires movement. You don't need all the answers to begin. You just need a willingness to start. Too often, people get caught in the trap of overthinking, planning endlessly, worrying about what could go wrong, obsessing over what others might think. But planning without action is procrastination in disguise. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to begin. Fear grows stronger, doubt becomes louder, opportunities pass by unnoticed. You start to believe that maybe you're not meant for more, but that's not true. The truth is, you simply haven't moved yet. Starting is the most powerful step you can take. It breaks inertia. It sends a message to your brain, to the world, and to your future that you are serious. Starting creates momentum. Once you're in motion, it becomes easier to keep going. You begin to learn, you start adjusting, you see progress, however small, and that progress fuels belief. One step taken today is worth more than 100 steps planned for tomorrow. Action brings clarity. It reveals the path forward. You don't need to see the entire staircase, you just need to take the first step. Think about any skill you've ever learned. You didn't become good by reading about it, by watching others, or by imagining it. You became good by doing. You failed, you stumbled, you improved. That's how mastery is built, not from theory, but from practice. Life works the same way. Your future won't be created by what you know. It will be created by what you do with what you know. There's a difference between knowledge and application. Knowledge fills your mind. Application changes your life. You must be willing to act while afraid, to move while unsure, to step forward even when the outcome is not guaranteed. Because growth lives on the other side of uncertainty. The people you admire, the ones who built meaningful lives, they didn't wait until they had it all figured out. They started when it was messy. They acted before they were ready. They dared to begin, and in doing so, they unlocked the next chapter of their lives. Excuses will always be available. There will always be something you don't have. Enough money, enough time, enough connections, enough confidence. But the truth is, you don't need more resources. You need more resourcefulness. Use what you have. Start with what you know. Begin from where you are. Action is not about having the best tools. It's about using the tools you've got with courage and commitment. Action also builds character. When you take action, you learn to trust yourself. You prove that you're someone who follows through. Every time you act despite fear, you grow stronger. Every time you choose progress over comfort, you reinforce discipline. Over time, this shapes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hesitates and start seeing yourself as someone who moves forward. That shift in self-perception is the foundation of lasting success. And don't worry if your action is small. What matters is that it's consistent. One phone call, one page written, one workout, one new habit. These actions may seem minor, but over time they compound. A small step repeated daily becomes a giant leap over the years. Your future isn't created in one day, it's created day by day. So if you want to create the future you dream of, don't wait. Start messy. Start scared. Start unsure, but start. Action beats inaction every single time. Stop overthinking, stop second guessing, trust yourself enough to begin. Because your future isn't waiting for a perfect version of you. It's waiting for the version of you who dares to take the first step. Your future is not written in the stars, nor is it handed to you by chance. It is created day by day by the choices you make and the actions you take. The decisions you make today, the way you manage your time, the responsibility you take for your life, and your willingness to act without waiting for perfection, these are the quiet builders of your destiny. You don't have to predict the future to shape it. You simply have to shape your habits, your mindset, and your priorities. If you want something better, it starts now. Not next week, not when things calm down, not when you feel ready, now. Because every moment you delay is the moment you lose. Every excuse you make is a brick in the wall between you and your potential. But every step you take, no matter how small, is a seed planted in the soil of your future. So make today count. Use your time wisely, choose deliberately, take full ownership of your life, and most importantly, begin. Start shaping a future that reflects the very best of who you are and who you are becoming. Because the future is not some far-off place you arrive at, it is something you are building with everything you do today.